Well, good morning and welcome everyone. I'm Chuck Knapp, President and CEO of Jobs for America's Graduates Kansas, which is one of 37 state affiliate organizations of Jobs for America's Graduates. Nationally, JAG has served more than 1.4 million students since its inception 40 years ago. In Kansas, JAG-K is in its 8th year helping students overcome various barriers to help our students prepare for successful futures. We have 78 programs throughout Kansas, serving more than 4,200 students last year. JAG-K students had a graduation rate of 96% for the class of 2020, even amid the COVID-19 pandemic. And this, of course, has been an unusual school year because of COVID. Some of our JAG-K districts are providing in-person learning, some are doing it completely remotely, and some are doing a hybrid of both of those methods. When schools closed last March, JAG-K immediately pivoted to a virtual model so we could continue providing services for our students. But this wasn't really unusual for us because we provide services to our students during the summer months when they're not in school and for a full 12 months after their senior year. However, many of our JAG-K career specialists did go above and beyond to stay connected and engaged with our students. And that has continued during the current school year, regardless of the education models that our schools are offering. Our JAG-K career specialists serve many roles. They're teachers, advisors, cheerleaders sometimes, confidant, and sometimes they're the most consistent adult in our students' lives. Today, we're here to celebrate earning the prestigious 5 of 5 award. We're certainly proud of earning this award, not because it's just a really nice trophy, but because it represents student success in Kansas. Over the past 3 years, JAG-K students have a 97% graduation rate with no achievement gap based on race. 55% of our students identify as students of color. 75% of them are eligible for free and reduced lunch, and nearly half of our students are in the bottom 25% of class rank academically. But JAG-K is helping all our students succeed by unleashing their great potential. Our students can do anything with the right support. And part of what makes the JAG-K program so effective is what we call the JAG Advantage. The 3 pillars of this approach are project-based learning, employer engagement, and trauma-informed care. Not only does this evidence-based approach help our students graduate and be career ready, it also helps build resilience and the ability to overcome barriers like poverty, injustice, and even a pandemic. And while COVID has presented numerous challenges, many of our students have already overcome significant trauma in their lives. One of our students, Kira, who couldn't be with us today, faced a life of sex trafficking at an early age, was in the foster care system, and finally had a chance for healing and renewal when she got in the JAG-K program. Her specialist cared about her, helped her gain confidence, and saved her life, according to Kira. Unfortunately, Kira has moved out of state, but we continue to support her through our Transition Services program, which is funded with the TANF grant. Transition Services is the same program that Governor Laura Kelly has tried to help us expand to serve youth in the juvenile justice system. And I want to thank Governor Kelly for her outstanding support of JAG-K. Our program is primarily funded through a federal TANF grant that's administered by the Kansas Department for Children and Families. And Governor Kelly and DCF have already committed to renewing that grant for fiscal year 2022. And so that certainty allows us to focus on serving students like Kira rather than worrying about whether we can serve them. We've also received strong bipartisan support from the Kansas legislature. And we have greatly appreciated Senator Jim Denning's support as Senate Republican leader. And so now it's my great honor to introduce Senate Majority Leader Jim Denning.
Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate all your work and congratulations for all that you've accomplished. As you mentioned, JAG-K is receiving strong bipartisan support because it is a program that works. There are impactful stories, including some being shared here today, and hard data to prove the program's ongoing success. In Kansas, JAG-K graduation rate has averaged 97% over the past 3 years, and that includes during the COVID pandemic. Students in foster care have a 56% graduation rate statewide, but an impressive 95% graduation rate if they stay in JAG-K. JAG-K's support of our most vulnerable students continues for 1 full year after they graduate from high school. JAG-K specialists help the students transition to secondary education, the military, and/or jobs, and help ensure that they continue to make good choices and follow productive paths. This program enjoys support because it works, and we should find ways to expand it to help more Kansas students. As Chuck mentioned, Governor Kelly has been tremendously supportive of this program, and I thank you for that, Governor Kelly, personally. And now I'm going to turn the mic over to you, Governor Kelly.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Senator Denning. I really do appreciate your support on behalf of JAG-K and its fantastic students. I also want to thank you, Chuck, for your work as JAG-K president and CEO here in Kansas. Your advocacy has made a difference in the lives of vulnerable students across Kansas. You've given them access to tools they need to excel in school and in the workforce. And I am very pleased to join you all this morning to celebrate JAG-K receiving the prestigious 5 of 5 award. You know, when I was on the gubernatorial campaign trail, I promised Kansans that I would be the education governor. And I'm proud to say that my administration delivered on that promise my first year in office when I signed legislation to fully fund our schools for the first time in nearly a decade. And I did that with your help, Senator Denning. My advocacy on behalf of Kansas students did not start when I ran for governor. As a state senator, no issue was closer to my heart than protecting and strengthening Kansas's public education system and the outcomes for students. Throughout my time in the Senate, I worked hand in hand with the JAG-K program, and I now serve on the JAG's National Board of Directors. During my tenure on the board, I've learned much about JAG's critical role in young people's lives statewide and nationwide. Some of you may not know this, but I was actually a math major when I entered college. And I'm also a bit of a wonk when it comes to research and data. This morning, I want to share a few statistics, some of which you've already heard, demonstrating the effectiveness of JAG's comprehensive service model. JAG serves more than 76,000 participants across the country each year and has a measurable track record of success in helping vulnerable youth and young adults perform well in school, on the job, and in college. JAG graduates are 230% more likely to be employed full-time compared to their peers, and twice as likely to attend a higher education institution. Now, as of May 30th, 2020, the unemployment rate among JAG graduates was 11.5%. While high, it's 3 times lower than the national youth unemployment rate for 18, 19-year-olds, which sits at nearly 30%. And the organization consistently achieves a 95% graduation rate, including this year, despite the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. There have been many challenges brought on by the virus that have caused a difficult year for all of us. JAG students and their families, however, have been disproportionately affected by COVID-19 related furloughs and layoffs. Businesses most harmed by the pandemic, like restaurants, stores, hotels, and other service industry establishments, often provide the entry-level opportunities many students need to get into the workforce. But the JAG program's service model has continued to give participating students the training, skills, and competencies they need to secure those first jobs, even as we confront the uncertainty of the virus. JAG still provides mentoring and network opportunities that can serve students throughout their careers. The program teaches students how to write a resume and interview for a job, how to work as a team, and go above and beyond in all that they do. These are essential skills we need throughout our lives, from our first job to our last. My administration is committed to supporting JAG-K and programs like it to ensure that all Kansas students have access to the tools they need to succeed now and into the future. And with that, I would like to introduce Chishayla Adams, President of the JAG-K State Career Association. Chishayla is a senior at Topeka High School, which is both of my daughters' alma mater, and a two-time qualifier for the JAG National Student Leadership Academy. So, Chishayla, good morning.
Good morning. How are
Are we keeping you out of class?
you? Out of Avid, but it's fine. I told my teacher she's fine with it.
Okay, all right. Well, you should get credit for this. So let's talk about you and your personal story. What challenges were you facing before you entered the JAG-K program?
So I entered the JAG-K program when I was already involved with it my freshman year, but it wasn't officially a class until my sophomore year. Before I entered the program, I dealt with a little bit of bullying, actually, and that didn't give me, I had like little to none confidence in myself or anything I wanted to say. So I let people's like ideas and judgment on me. Basically, I reacted how I would just deflect and not like be as involved as I am now. So with that, I just didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to, if I had an idea, I just wouldn't say anything. I would just sit back. I've always been a loud person. Like I've always liked to talk. So that never took away from it. It would just be more of a, I didn't want to get as involved as I am now. So those are some challenges.
Yeah. So how did JAG-K help you overcome some of those challenges?
So like you mentioned before, I am a public speaker. So my teacher actually talked me into doing public speaking. And when I did, actually, I didn't believe I was going to win. I didn't believe I was actually going to even qualify for anything. And when I did, it was just like the beginning to something like, oh, I could actually, like, my voice actually does have power. And so JAG has helped me in those ways. So it helped me make me have I know that my voice actually does have power. And so that's a challenge I say I've definitely overcome. It's actually helped me open so many more doors than I have before too. And I've also I'm more outspoken now too, so.
Well, so building on that, you've overcome these challenges and now, so what kind of specific successes have you experienced since being involved with JAG-K?
So one of them were, I'm actually the JAG-K state president this year. And that's because my peers chose me because they thought I was fit for this position. And another one is I've completed my FAFSA. I've made a resume. I've made a cover letter. I've gotten jobs just because of being in the program and them preparing me for more skills outside of school. So being in that has helped me see I can do stuff beyond my high school education. I've also joined the Army National Guard because a recruiter came to our school and they were talking about it, and I just thought that's something I would love to do. So I talked more to them, but JAG introduced me to that.
So can I ask you, what are you doing with the Guard?
So right now, what the Guard does is you do 1 week in a month, and then you do basic and AIT training, which is your job training. So I'm a 13 Juliet, which is a fire marshal specialist. So that's what I'm doing. So after I complete training, I will be released to my unit in Manhattan.
Okay, that's very cool, by the way. We could have used you in Norton this past weekend. We had a bunch of wildfires going out there. So every JAG-K student gets a specialist assigned to them. Am I right?
Yes.
And so How does that work for you? What are the best things about having somebody special assigned directly to you?
So my JAG teacher is like, honestly, we have like such a tight bond now because like like I said, when I didn't think I could do anything and I didn't want to do anything because I didn't believe in myself, she pushed me and showed me that I could. Like she believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And having a specialist, like specifically my specialist, I can't really speak for everybody else, but it's just having another person you can go to about things and talk to, and also having somebody else there on your side that will prepare you for your future and stick with you throughout your whole high school career and beyond that.
So she will stay with you when you graduate
Yes.
for a while. Okay.
I'm pretty sure the requirements you have to keep in touch like years after. Miss Canty.
That's great.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about JAG-K from your perspective, but when you look at it as a whole program, you know, why do you think it's so important in Kansas?
I feel like it's important because despite JAG doesn't judge, like in general, like if you go through things, you always have that person there that's going to help you throughout and stuff like that. But also, I feel like JAG helps as a whole program because it helps you prepare for what's to come instead of in the now. So if you need a job, you got it. They'll help you prepare for it. If like when we're doing career development conferences and competing, that is helping us prepare for our future. That's helping us make plans. It's helping us develop plans. It's helping us like go for them instead of just saying, oh, I want to do this. It's helping us make it happen. So I feel like JAG as a whole is good because it's helping us make things happen instead of having ideas.
Well, speaking of that, what are your plans and your hopes for your future?
So my plans are I'm deciding between Kansas University and K-State, but I want to go because I want to be a lawyer. And my plans are like long-term to be a criminal lawyer and serve those who really honestly can't serve themselves. Because that's something I'm passionate about. I do believe that a lot of people are underserved, so I feel like that I could do my part in doing that and continuing with the Army National Guard.
Okay. Well, and please stay in Kansas, Chishayla. Do me a favor, I need you. Well, you're delightful. You're clearly on a path to success. I wish you all the very best. And thanks for having this conversation. And now I'm going to turn the mic over to Ken Smith, who is the president of JAG National. And I think you've been there forever, have you not, Ken? 40 years?
Before there were child labor laws, Governor. Yeah. Yes, let me commend Chishayla. I'm inclined to rest my case just on her presentation. So thank you for your leadership. And you'll notice she did win an election. So to the senator and the governor, I just keep an eye on her, just to keep. We certainly wonderfully to have her in government someday as well.
I would love to mentor her.
There you go. Careful, you take her up on that, Chishayla. So let me just first of all thank Governor and the senator. You know, we're only a few days past an election, and I just want to emphasize the bipartisanship that you see here. The president-elect comes from the state that started JAG 40 years ago in Delaware, so he knows it extremely well. The current vice president, Mike Pence, built the largest JAG organization in the country in Indiana and was co-chair of our national board, just to make the bipartisan point. And as the governor said, she's on the national board of 14 governors, the largest number of governors to serve in any board in the country. And next door, Governor Kim Reynolds is our vice chair, and Governor John Bell Edwards, a good Democrat from Louisiana, is our chair. So we were founded on the basis of helping achieve both equal opportunity and equal outcomes. And that's what we've been delivering on with the governor and the senator's help and Chuck's terrific leadership in Kansas now, so that the most vulnerable young people in Kansas have the opportunity to succeed. And then with all the efforts you've just heard about, actually do get at least equal and frankly, better than equal outcomes. A 3 times lower unemployment rate for the highest category of unemployment in the country, which is 18 to 19-year-olds. 96% graduation rate, national average is 84%. And we more than double the rate they go on to higher education. So JAG is one of the great equalizers in our country, and that's what we were founded to do. We didn't know it at the time, but Governor and Senator, we are in exactly the right place in Kansas at precisely the right time to those that have been hit the earliest and the hardest, as the governor says, by the pandemic in every way. So your support has led to the ability for Chishayla and thousands of other young Kansans to be successful, and we're very grateful. You've got something very special there. You really do. And in the immortal words of one assistant commissioner of the Coast Guard, when asked what it is that said the Senate to do, he said, I'd find out what's working and I'd do more of it. Well, makes some sense, and you've helped to grow it. And if we can find a way to bring it to more schools and more kids here nationally, we're anxious to help. So let me ask Chuck to bring up the 5 of 5 award. It is our most demanding national metrics. It is the hardest to get, and in the pandemic made it doubly difficult. And Jobs for Kansas graduates, in fact, exceeded all of our highest national performance metrics. Like I said, you've got something pretty special there. So thank you all for all that you're doing. And Senator, if you'll pass our deep appreciation on to your colleagues in the legislature. We know this wouldn't be happening without you in the legislature, and the fact that you bipartisan leadership in support of this is reassuring to all of us. So thank you. And to Chuck and the team and the schools that all made this possible, gets a gold star on your report cards. So congratulations.
Again, thank you, Governor, Senator Denning, for your outstanding support. And I really want to thank our—
We can't hear you very well, Chuck.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, well, I wanted to wrap up by thanking Governor Kelly again for her great support, Senator Denning again for the bipartisan support in the legislature. And I really want to conclude by thanking our career specialists, because we have a great model, but it wouldn't matter if we didn't have those career specialists working directly with our students. They're the ones that get it done, and I can never thank them enough. So thank you all. Thank you. We hope to be back next year presenting the 5 of 5 award to Governor Kelly. And thanks. We'll continue to have a great year and overcome this pandemic. Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you.
Chishayla, go Trojans.
Take care.